Hello YouTube. So my name is Jack from Curious Culture, and today I'm going to talk about the topic of intuition in daily life and just intuition and thinking in general. So I'm going to be reading off my laptop and my script, which is just in front of me. So have you ever noticed that some ideas just feel right, even if you can't explain why? That's intuition, and as an INTP, I'm learning how to live by it rather than just overthinking everything. In our lives, we expose ourselves to a certain amount of information, and some information creates comfort, whereas other sources of information are less comfortable and therefore just ignored because of mood. The way we were raised definitely influences this. Our values are often learnt from our parents and peers. When pondering this topic, I also thought about core motivation and how when we relax and reflect in our lives, we come back to that core identity more from where we can find energy and alignment. Sometimes I'll try and force a rigid mindset and try and stick to it and think, right, this is how I'm going to do things. But honestly, this works to a degree, and it also doesn't always work in reality. Why is that? Because when we can have a strong gut reaction against our mental model on how we should be living, and I've learned that when I start to get wound up like that with the mental models, I relax and I let my mind refresh and take in new perspectives and therefore a better outlook that flows better and is essentially intuitive. From an MBTI lens, this would be seen as developing more of your extroverted intuition as an INTP. So a common belief about INTPs is that we get stuck in our introverted thinking, and then also the tertiary SI keeps us comfortable in what's known to us. So the TI forms a model that we find satisfaction from, and is a great thing. But when it's used in a way where it's just confined to a certain way of looking at things, that creates a fundamental sense of negativity in our life. We do need to be honest about, hey, this isn't working, and exploring NE, doing things that make you feel refreshed and better, like even just a long drive to somewhere really nice and new, and the thoughts that come from that. I've heard that highway driving can bring a lot of downloads, which means new thoughts and better perspectives, and so doing that really gives your TI a fresh angle of seeing things. So what I'd like to talk about next is that when I feel wound up with those mental models, I do these things to relax and flow, which is the nature of NE, and also just living intuitively. So I know MBTI is a very interesting model, but I'd also like to point to maybe there's a deeper level to this where it's more of a collective human experience of that we all seek experiences that make us relaxed and happy. And something that I did recently was I was at my brother's wedding, and I found that the dancing and a few drinks really helped to just fully let go of caring what anyone thought of me in the room. I'm just going to do the movements my body wants to with the dancing, have fun, enjoy the company of others, and really let go and be in that moment. And that was an example of something that really helped me free up my mind. So yeah, I relax and I let my mind refresh and take in new perspectives, and therefore a better outlook that flows better and is essentially intuitive. I'm now keen to explore what I think more about intuition and living intuitively, so it's grounded in your day-to-day life. It's important for me in my journey as an INTP to not just stay in my head, but to find a grounded and philosophical approach to my daily life that creates a sense of inner peace and flow in my actions, which in turn creates a better flow of thought. When you live intuitively, your thoughts are free-flowing and enjoyable, and you feel like you're connected to something bigger than yourself. Honestly, this has made me wonder on the existence of God, because where does intuition come from? It's a clear data point for me, intuition that is. It's something I know is there and something I'm getting better at listening to and living by. Life these days isn't about reading lots of books, even though, like, I read 20 minutes this morning, but I use it to spark the new thoughts in myself and then go about my day and enjoy a improved lens of looking at things from the books. But I don't make books like the central part of my life. They're there to support my life and the main process in my life, which is experience. And yeah, life these days isn't about reading lots of books and feeling like I can share a bunch of information from a book, even though that has its place sometimes. It's about learning through my experiences and enjoying my own thoughts and interpretations of things. With intuitive living, I've found that when you feel good about a situation before it has happened, it's like you know it's likely to be good. And something I'd like to add about learning through my experiences and enjoying my own thoughts and interpretations. When you think about someone who writes a book, they do that from experience. So you can have interest and curiosity in your experience and be like, hey, I'm learning all the time. And what becomes very interesting about life is that you then look at your life and think, what am I being taught today? You know, you think about the joy you had growing up, and where did that come from? It's from learning. So we can always keep learning, and that keeps our minds fresh and youthful. With intuitive living, I have found that when you feel good about a situation before it has happened, it's like you know it's likely to be good. This ties into gut feelings and sometimes, you've been in situations before, so there's a knowing. So we trust that knowledge. So, intuition is a very grounded thing in ways where it's like, okay, well, I know through my experience. Even if it's not great, you carry in your mindset and energy that changes the way you experience the situation. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, which is a great quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer, I really like. Music is another powerful way for us to connect with our inner self and intuition and have good thoughts that magically spark, or a sense of inner discovery of yourself in a more whole way. Just the right song that's created from a place of inspiration and when listened to, strikes that same place of inspiration from within that makes you want to be more aligned with your intuition and inspiration. Inspiration means inspired action. Let the negativity in your life guide and redirect you to let go a little and trust in your intuitive flow. When there's complexity, you need simplicity. Simplicity is close to clarity. Sometimes sweeping the floor has given me the most interesting thoughts. When you clean or sweep, you direct your mind to orderliness and organisation. It creates inner space as your focus is externalised. This is contextual. Sometimes spending time in nature and being physically and mentally quiet is needed. I think each person is a unique and precious expression of the divine, and to understand that people who are rude have been hurt, and if they knew better, they'd act nice, etc. I know it's a deep topic, understanding human nature, so I won't go too much into that. But what I am becoming more sure of is there's an inner compass, a knowing, a good calm state of who you really are that you can trust and follow. And so to finish here, I'd like to share some actionable insights. So trusting your gut reactions, notice what activities spark flow or calm in your life. Use music, cleaning, nature, or quiet reflection to connect with your intuition. When complexity arises, you need to simplify. Clarity emerges from calm. Living intuitively isn't about ignoring your mind, it's about letting it rest, observing and trusting the quiet knowing inside you. I'd like to leave this question with you. How do you connect with your intuition in your life? I hope you've enjoyed this video.